Good evening, everybody. Today is the 10th of August, as according to the old calendar. Welcome to Voices of British Orthodoxy. Today we have three saints commemorated, and our first saint of the day is depicted on the right, and that is Saint Bertram, also known as Bettelin, and he's from the 8th century. In the Anglican Church of the Holy Cross in Ilham, Staffordshire, is the Chapel of Saint Bertram, built in 1618 by the Meverell Port and Hurt families. The chapel holds the remains of the shrine of Saint Bertram, an Anglo-Saxon saint, whose existence is entirely legendary? Okay. This is what the book is saying. I just read the entries from the book and also from the group chat. Anyway, all of the information on Bertram or Bettelin seems to come from a life in the 1516 edition of the Nova Legenda Angliae. St. Bertram is derived as a 7th or 8th century Mercian king who renounced his title and wealth and abandoned the world. He became a hermit in the area that is present-day Stafford, of which he is patron saint. This life is confused and intertwined with that of St. Bettelin from the 9th, who will commemorate on the 9th of September, and it is possible, not probable, that they are one and the same person. Do forgive that blasphemous entry. Again, it's the book, and not me. I just read what says it in the book. He has a Troparion, which is in tone 8. Like newborn lambs are we lacking in any defences, unable to withstand the onslaughts of the spiritual wolves who seek to devour us. But do thou, O righteous Bertram, come to our aid, and with the staff of God's grace which abideth in thee, drive far from us the savage minions of Satan, that by thine entreaties we may find safety and rest in the fold of Christ in paradise. Our next saint of the day is Saint Blaine. Oh wait, no. In the group chat, his entry is as follows: Saint Bertram, and then in brackets we got his other names of Bettelin, Beorfelm, and Berthelm. Wonderworker of Ilham and Stafford, England, 8th century. He is said to have had a hermitage on the island of Bethny, which later became the town of Stafford. Later he went to a more hilly area, and possibly near Ilham, where he died. The son of a Mercian king, he was a friend and pupil of St. Guflac. After Guflac's death around 715, Beorfelm established a hermitage on this peninsula named Bethany. Bertram is said to have converted many to Christianity, and reputedly was able to work miraculous cures through his prayers. The ill will of the jealous detractors lead him to relocate to Ilham in Doverdale, Derbyshire, where he eventually died. He is the patron saint of Stafford. Our next entry for today is Saint Blaine, also known as Blaan, and Blaine, but with IN instead of NE. And he is from the 7th century. According to the Aberdeen Breviary, Saint Blaine was a disciple of Saints Comgall, and who we will commemorate on the who we did commemorate on the 10th of May, and Kenneth, who we will commemorate on the 11th of October. He was consecrated Bishop of Kingath in the Isle of Bute in Scotland at the end of the 6th or beginning of the 7th century AD. St. Blaine was buried at Dunblane, where the cathedral and several churches are dedicated to his honour. However, there is debate regarding the dates generally given for his life. If it is at 40, he was a disciple of Saints Comgall and Kenneth, that his birth must have been after AD 550. However, Butler, and Dempster insist that he is flourished in the 10th or 11th century, perhaps confusing St. Kenneth with King Kenneth. Circa AD 1000. The Bollandists reject the theory that St. Blaine studied under Saints Comgall and Kenneth. This leads to the contemporary hypothesis that there were two different St. Blaines, one who lived in the 6th century and a second who lived in the 11th century. The group chat entry is St. Blaine, then the other spelling of Blaine with the IN in the brackets. A disciple of Saints Comgall and Canis in Ireland. He was a bishop in Scotland, was buried at Dunblane, which was named after him, 6th century. And our final saint of the day is Saint Gerontius, also known as Geraint, and he is from the 6th century. Saint Gerontius was a king of Dumnonia, present-day Devon, which is in England, who fell in battle against the pagan Saxons in AD 508. Numerous romantic legends evolved about his life and that of his wife Enid, all of doubtful veracity. The first known mention of him is in the 12th century Exeter Martyrology, which refers to a King Gerontius, though not as a saint. An Exeter litany attributed to Bishop Leo Frick of Exeter, circa AD 1072, mentions a Saint Gerontius. Another Gerontius, a king of Cornwall, who reposed AD 596, is lifted as a saint in some works, though without a feast date and maybe the same person. A modern Bollandist has speculated that the first Gerontius was a local saint who was elevated to the status of king in the writings of later hagiographers. Today's episode... Matter of fact, no, we'll finish off. The entry in the group chat goes as follows. Saint Gerontius, also known as Geraint, a Briton who was king of Dumnonia, Devon and Cornwall, now in England. He fell in battle against the pagan Saxons 6th century. He is the patron saint of the village of Geraint in Cornwall. May those saints intercede for us before the righteous judge. I hope you all had a wonderful day. Don't forget that we are still, I think, until next Tuesday in it. In the, after feast, or whatever it's called, of the Transfiguration. So that is, kind of cool. I hope you all are enjoying your Transfiguration after feast. Can I also just point out that I do not affirm any of these weird secular, they didn't actually exist, malarkey writings. I think I've said this before, but, especially with St. Kenelm, where it goes as far to just... Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I just want to make that clear. I do not support the questionable content. Anyway, I hope you all had a very wonderful day. Don't forget to go to Divine Liturgy tomorrow. I've been Reader Lazar. God bless you all, and Amen.